Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kokomlemle in Accra, at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Damongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko, on ABN Radio in London, and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by Telesol 4G, Just a Touch, and UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank. Let's go. And coming up, Black Stars begin journey tonight to end Ghana's 37-year-long wait for African Cup of Nations trophy.
Sometimes it doesn't take a quality to get what you want. Unknown players can surprise each and everyone. I believe in my players.
It's going to be a difficult game. This is a good Benin side, so we are fully prepared.
We'll be live in the Egyptian town of Ismailia, where President Akufo-Addo is giving the team morale boost ahead of the match against Benin, and hear from some Beninois as well. Fugitive Chinese illegal Rosewood Queen Helen Wang recaptured after several weeks of escape from lawful custody.
It was the day before yesterday. She called me that she's on the way coming from Accra to Tamale. So when she arrived, she called me.
We'll get to details live as Tamale Circuit Court refuses to hear her case, saying neither the police nor the Forestry Commission has properly filed a case before it. And also in the bulletin, we'll bring you the latest of the National Science and Maths Quiz with Maxwell Agbagba, who's been talking to the coordinator of Presec Legon, one of the winners of yesterday's contest.
First round, the difference was 2 points. So I didn't really feel any form of disappointment or anxiety, because I know my boys, I know that they'll come back strongly.
We have all that and more coming up here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. And the euphoria is high as the senior national team, the Black Stars, begin their journey this evening to possibly end the 37-year-long wait for an African Cup of Nations trophy. Tonight's game, even though against less fancied Benin, appears to be one which will shape the opinions of soccer-loving Ghanaians as to whether their team is capable of winning the trophy. Benin is taking part in the tournament for the first time since 2010. So will this mark the start of victory for the Black Stars? My colleague Henry Kwesibedu looks ahead in this report.
The sound of a Ghanaian anthem will blast through the Ismailia Stadium as the Black Stars lock horns with the Squirrels of Benin at 8 p.m. tonight. The same stadium was where the Black Stars were handed defeat against Zimbabwe in a 2006 edition that sent the Black Stars packing.
Zimbabwe still a lot of carrying. Balls in there, Shemenza. 1-0. Finally, it's happened. Zimbabwe go into the lead.
Ghana has won the Africa Cup of Nations trophy on 4 occasions. Those victories, though, were achieved long ago. All the current players were not even born by then. The last triumph came in 1982 when the current coach, Kwesi Appiah, was part of a squad. However, Ghana's domination has since declined. Ghana's captain, Andre Ayew, yesterday warned Benin in a pre-match conference that his team will come out all guns blazing. Some Ghanaians are optimistic that Ghana will beat Benin.
I'm expecting a great game. We did nothing more but the trophy of this AFCON.
Oh, as for the Stars, it's 2-0. Expect one from Jordan and then Achu.
This time around, we are much more determined. We think this is the right time for us to win.
The Squirrels of Benin will be making their 4th appearance at the tournament and is yet to win a match in the competition. Some Beninois in Ghana are confident their team will carry the day. Martin Francois Dosa is the Benin High Commissioner to Ghana.
I know that Benin will win Ghana. I'm sure.
In all, the Black Stars have made 21 AFCON appearances, winning 4 titles: 1963, 1965, 1978 and 1982. Can the Black Stars end the long droughts? Time will tell. Henry Kwesibedu's report for Joy News.
Now, the Black Stars appear to have everything going for them ahead of this game. A good budget, good preparation, a new captain, and great morale in camp, which is further boosted by the presence of the president, Nana Akufo-Addo. At a news conference yesterday, Coach Kwesi Appiah brushed off the competition, saying the Stars will win regardless of who they face.
There's no way you can underrate any other team. Every single team in Africa now performs at the highest level. And for that reason, sometimes it doesn't take a quality to get what you want. Sometimes any unknown players can surprise each and everyone. So I believe in my players. I have full confidence in them. And I am sure they'll give out their best to surprise many who doubted them.
Let's hear from Ghana's captain, Andre Dedeayu. He says that his men are fully prepared to face the Beninois.
I think it's been a great competition. A lot of teams have shown their quality. It's going to be a difficult game. This is a good Benin side. Any team that is here deserves to be here. So we are fully prepared and we are going into this game with all the concentration and all our power to try and get the 3 points.
Now let's head to Ismailia now and let's check out the mood in camp. Benedict Owusu is our man on the ground and he joins us on the line. Benedict, so there's huge anticipation as Ghana prepares to play this match. But we understand that the starting list is out. Who made it?
Yes, Coach Kwesi Appiah is going for the 4-2-3-1 formation, and the players that are going to do justice to that formation are in post. We're going to have Richard Ofori, and then at right back will be Andy Adam, and then the left side of the wing back is going to be Agbenyano Lumo, and then the centre back you're going to have Kasim Nuhu as well as John Boy. That's Mubarak Okasu will play as the holding midfielder with Thomas Partey also in midfield, and then on the right side of the wing attack we're going to have Christian Achu with the left being Thomas Ijapon, and Andrea Ayew, that's captain of the team, will play behind his brother Jordan Ayew.
So from the list that you've given me, Kojo Asamoah is not playing and Samoa Jan is also not playing.
Exactly.
They are not starting.
No yes, there is no Kojo Asamoah. There is no Asamoah Jan. Despite Kojo Asamoah, for me, being our best player in the pre-tournament campaign we had in Dubai. If you watch their last training sessions, Coach Kwesi Appiah practiced with Wakasu and then Thomas Partey in midfield. It worked. So possibly maybe that's the reason why he decided to go for those two players. But I think that he has options in Kojo Asamoah, options in Asamoah Jan and Samuel Owusu and the other players on the bench. And if this system, these players are not able to possibly maybe in the first half play as to his satisfaction, definitely he's going to make some changes. Now,
at this point, we trust every decision Kwesi Appiah takes. But you've been speaking to some of the players about the pitch they'll be playing on. We know earlier they had concerns. What are they saying?
Well, initially they should have trained on the pitch, but because all the 4 teams, the pitch was delayed barely a month, and if CAF is going to allow all the 4 teams to train on, then you definitely will know that we're off even before we play the first game. So they were just made to, familiarize themselves on the pitch yesterday with the work. And after I had this conversation with them.
Ronaldo, how do you see the pitch?
Oh, very nice. I feel like playing tomorrow.
Charlie John, how do you see the pitch?
Charlie, good.
Joe, what do you also say about the pitch? Is it good?
They say,
they say, wow.
Lollipop.
Okay. Jordan, how do you find the pitch?
Good quality, very good.
Okay, so we should expect some goals, right?
Goals will come.
You heard that Benedict also interacting with our heroes for, the Black Stars. But let's head to the camp of our opponents, the Beninois. We know that the Black Stars are favourite. That's no doubt. But Joy News intern, Jean Claudel, is a Beninois, and he joins us in studio. So you are the underdogs, whether you like it or not. But you've been checking the mood back at home. How is it like?
Good afternoon. Back at home, there's confidence. People believe in the team. And this tournament is a bit open because the best 3 teams who finish third will qualify. So it gives us our people hope. So let's see what we can do.
So you are not hoping to beat the Black Stars today, at least?
Yeah, if we can make a draw, that will be because Benin, we never won a match at the AFCON. So
And for the record, you are not being intimidated to say this. The producers didn't ask you to say this. You said this by yourself. Yeah. But let's hear some of the people you've been interacting with.
Hope that today Ghana will lose. The Ghana team is still Ghana by the name, but is no longer the Ghana that Benin cared for by the past. We think that so many Ghana's players they are getting old, and even the cohesion inside the team is not that real.
I think Benin can win tonight because we have a good team, we have amazing team, and I believe in my team. Go Benin.
It's amazing that Benin managed to go to CAN 2019, but I'm not sure we will win against Ghana because we are not that strong. It will be a good surprise if we win today.
You heard that, Sam Beninois. Now, if you are not in Egypt, you're hoping to listen to live commentary and also watch this match live on television. There's a plea to PDS, and this time it's coming from the chairman of the Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Asante. And he's asking the PDS to ensure uninterrupted power supply during the opening match. He was speaking today on the sidelines of a vigilantism program at PDS Lodge.
First of all, let me say to the electricity people that they should allow us to watch this match no matter what. And my wish is that Black Stars will win and win comfortably. Ultimately, they should bring the cup.
Any predictions for today's match? 1, 2, 3, probably 5-0.
I'm yearning for 3-1.
So that you heard the chairman of the Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Asante. But social media is alight with talk about the upcoming match tonight. Mapito is here with some comments. What are people saying, Mapito?
This one is from at ICGC Worldwide, and they're saying wishing the hashtag Black Stars all the best at the Total AFCON 2019 as they face Benin in their first match. May you be filled with wisdom, strength, and creativity. We pray you come out victorious in this competition. At Ropapa Mensa says,
Amen.
One people, one country. Our hashtag Black Stars all the best for Ghana. And Citizen Papa says, I urge the people of Ghana to do whatever they can in their capacity to help support the at Ghana official to win the hashtag AFCON 2019 title. Hashtag Black Stars. It's our time, guys. We can do it. And at Gary Alsma says, Ghana will not start Koja Samoa, which is a surprise. However, Asamoah Gyan on the bench is expected. Coach goes for pace and quick transitions. Hashtag Black Stars. And this one is from at Dada_Ni, who says, with a single purpose and a combined heart, go out and make hashtag Ghana proud. Go Black Stars, go!
Go Ghana. And what's football without Jama? Let's hear from the chief drama for the Stars, Langabell. He's confident the trophy will come to Ghana this year.
You have to do something better for this our Ghanaian footballers. When you talk negative to the players, it goes to them, because when they hear, they cannot sleep, because they have families. They have family, they have children, they have brother, they have sister, they have everything in this country. But if you have bombasted them there, maybe one of the family or one of the wife will call them, Charlie, come and see how Ghanaians are insulting you people. You see, when it happens so, Becky, the player himself will feel bad. Yeah. The spiritual or the spirit, you can go inside the tournament, you see that one or it's past and gone. Okay. You understand me?
It's basically negative comments.
That's it.
Brings them down, brings their spirits down.
That's it.
It demoralizes them.
Fantastic. This AFCON is marvelous AFCON because it's not 16 again. It was 24 nations. Okay. And 24 nations, before you take this AFCON, which means you suffer a lot. Yeah. Because you go so many ways, preliminaries, quarterfinals, 1/16, semi-finals, before finals. Well, this shows that you have to be bold for yourself, courageous and cheerful. To any country at all went to the tournament. But I'll tell Ghanaians that we are the favorites of this tournament for Ghana, because 37 years, no food, no water.
And that's the chief drama for the Black Stars, Langabell, speaking to my colleague Becky Dako, host of E with Bex. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's do some other stories now, because fugitive Chinese illegal Rosewood queen Helen Huang has been recaptured after jumping bail some 6 weeks ago. She was arrested in Tamale last month for attempting to transport banned forestry products loaded into 2 trucks. Police recaptured her when she reported herself after her return from China, where she's been hiding since she escaped about 6 weeks ago. She was put before court this morning in Tamale, from where correspondent Ilyasu Tanko joins us. So Ilyasu, what facts did prosecutors put before the circuit court about Helen Huang today?
Well, the prosecutor did not speak. Immediately the case was called. The lawyer for the Chinese suspect rose and told the judge that he was here to seek bail for his client. And again, the lawyer for the surety was also in court, also stood and said he was also here to formally tell the judge that the surety has been able to find this particular Chinese suspect and was here to hand the suspect to the judge. So the prosecutor did not speak, but we spoke to this gentleman who stood surety for Helen Wan. His name is Mohamed Bonvigu. We can listen to him.
We'll get to hear from him shortly, but my understanding is that the judge, Justice Twumasi Appiah, despite the huge public interest in this case, refused to hear it. Why?
So basically, the judge was saying that in the first place, the reason why the case was brought to his court was because the suspect had allegedly fled the country, and the surety was brought for the court to force him to produce this particular suspect. And so he has no formal charges against this particular suspect, for which reason he refused to hear that particular case.
So, Ilyasu, then what happens now?
As we speak, the judge directed or referred the matter to the Immigration Service to look into the documents of this suspect. We are currently at the Immigration Service Department. A short while ago, the commander of the Immigration Services have just told us that he has listened to the suspect and he has decided to forward or send her to Accra for further investigation.
Listening to her and listening to all that she has told you, I feel the best option left to me is to send her to Accra for further investigations.
When?
In fact, to be honest with you, if I can even go today, I would like it. So I'm sure everything today, tomorrow.
So what will happen if you are not able to go today? Will she be sent to
custody?
These are arrangements I am making. You understand what I'm telling you? These are arrangements I am making. Maybe I should have finished all this. Maybe wait for let me finish all these arrangements, then I'll tell you exactly what. Maybe wait for let me finish all this. So but in a nutshell, that is my decision that I want to send her to Accra for further investigation.
You have an immigration official, William Ando Appiah. Now, chairman of the governing NPP, Freddie Blay, has described as incompetent an application filed by the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, asking that he is handed jail term for failing to cooperate with investigations. He maintains he has at no point disrespected, maligned or disobeyed any directive from Shraj. The anti-graft body has been on the heels of the politician for months, saying they are unable to locate and serve him with copies of a petition demanding investigations into procurement of buses for the NPP. Mr. Blay maintains he has always been available. Listen.
We've not been hiding. I mean, in this country, how can I hide? I have an office, I have a house. I'm all over this country. So anybody who says he can't find me to serve me, I don't know exactly what he's talking about. In any case, here we are. We filed a response. We filed affidavit in opposition to what they are saying. Even that, they have a problem with that. And I find it maybe they are trying to put up a political jersey to make a case out of this whole issue of service. I have done nothing wrong. I'm not a fugitive from justice.
NPP National Chairman Freddie Blay. My colleague Joseph Akablay was in court and joins me in studio. Now, the court had earlier directed Shraj to serve the NPP chairman at his residence. We understand that issue came up again?
Yes, in fact, the lawyers for Shraj informed the court that they have still not been able to serve him. They went to the residence, he was not available, but the judge said that was no longer relevant because Mr. Freddie Blay has showed up in court and his lawyers had actually filed a response to the application filed by Shraj asking that he be committed for contempt.
Now, what does Mr. Blay have to say about the issue about the source of funding for these buses?
He says he's ever ready to address the allegations, and if anyone wants to discuss the buses, he's going to speak to it.
If they want to talk about buses, they should come to me. If not, nobody has come to me to talk about buses that we have claimed or we've made it public that we facilitated our party so that we will have access to buses and they will operate it so that they will have a little money to help fund the party. That's what we've said all over. And if they find a problem with that now, they can come and talk it over with him. But to make it look like as if by that very act, Freddie Blay is corrupt, it's unfortunate. Well, it's not a question of belief. You see it, what is happening. And if people want to put up political justice to fight it, I'm ready for that. Well, I'm not sure that's why we've come to this call for. But definitely, over time, the buses will deliver to the constituencies.
You heard the national chairman of the NPP, Freddie Blay. Now let's head to the eastern region. You recall that the teacher was murdered, and we are told that the 6 persons arrested have been arraigned before court. And my colleague Maxwell Kudeko has been in court and joins us on the line. Tell us more about what happened in court today.
Today, police woman Chief Inspector Margaret Konto, the prosecutor of this case, presented the 6 suspects in court. Richard Amening, Mreku Emmanuel, Stephen Kodier, Paul Ofer, Isaac Abuadu, and Evans Abuaji. The 6 were presented in court today. The prosecutor presented a postmortem report to the court, indicating that investigation is almost coming to an end. And she also added that police have gathered further evidence that incriminates the 6. So she said the police are putting together a report or a docket to the Attorney General for advice. She pleaded with the court to grant the police audience to remand the 6 in police custody, so July 30th, 2019. The court presided over by Her Worship Alice Efua Yurenchi admitted or accepted the plea by the prosecutor.
You heard my colleague Maxwell Kudeko. You're still listening to the Midday News. So we'll take a quick break. When we return, 5 injured, 3 arrested as police clash with residents of Bonny Benihinase over detention of police officers. We have details. And also later we'll bring you the latest of the National Science and Maths Quiz with Maxwell Lagbagba, who's been talking to the coordinator of PSEC Legon, one of the winners of yesterday's contest.
First round, the difference was 2 points. So I didn't really feel any form of disappointment or anxiety because I know my boys, I know that they'll come back strongly.
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Now, they are filled with anger directed at the District Assembly for failing to ensure they have a source of safe water. Residents of Enchikwo say rivers and streams around them have all been polluted by illegal Chinese galamsey operators. The result is that the residents in their thousands now struggle to find water. Western Regional Correspondent Inathalia Kwanza has more in the following report for Joy News Safe Water Project.
Water is life. That should explain why the people of Enchikwo are walking over each other with their buckets, basins, and anything they can fetch with. They rush here for water every day. Blaise Stephen is the Benkumhine of the community.
Our source of water. You see, initially we were depending on the streams and hand-dug wells. Such a big community like this, we have only 2 boreholes. We have only 2 boreholes that serve the whole community. So we were depending on the streams. All of a sudden, there was the influx of the illegal mining, the galamsey system. And as I speak to you now, all our water bodies are polluted totally. So we are even afraid. Now, as I speak to you now, when I'm going to farm, I have to get a bottle, fetch some water into it. And if the place is far, how can I survive on 1 bottle of water?
In Ghana, close to 6 million people rely on surface water to meet their daily water needs. And residents of Enchikwo are among such troubled communities. Some of the residents have stopped drinking the water from River Ndoria because they know the activities of illegal miners have polluted the river.
First,
They have redirected the passage of the water. You see, they have dug holes in the river, and in the course of their working, they use a lot of chemical. So when we drink, we feel sick. Just take a look at this big town. We have only 2 boreholes, and we always fight when we go there to fetch water.
Ama Ohuma, a mother of 5, says she would rather spend several hours at their boreholes.
In Nathalia Concerts for Joy News' Safe Water project. Now, opposition NDC has asked former CEOs to seek appropriate redress following a Supreme Court ruling that their tenure does not end with a particular government. The Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, ruled that portions of the Presidential Transition Act is unconstitutional, stating that CEOs can be sacked in accordance with the terms of their contract or based on a just cause. There's a statement from the party signed by the General Secretary. My colleague Kojo Yankson has details. What more does it say, Kojo?
Well, MFR, it doesn't say a lot. It's a relatively short statement issued today, 25th of June, signed by Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the General Secretary. I'll read it in full. The heading is NDC Statement on Supreme Court Decision on Dismissal of CEOs by Akufo-Addo Government. The National Democratic Congress welcomes the decision in a recent case in the Supreme Court in which the court held unanimously that it is unconstitutional and therefore null and void for the government of President Akufo-Addo to remove from office all chief executive officers and director generals of public corporations appointed by previous administrations. In so doing, the court has clarified the constitutional position vis-à-vis the provisions of the Presidential Transition Act. The National Democratic Congress is therefore, by this statement, advising all such categories of chief executive officers and director generals who were so affected to take appropriate steps to vindicate their rights in the appropriate fora.
So that's the statement signed by the General Secretary. Let's get some interpretation to this. We are joined on the phone by constitutional lawyer, Mr. Martin Kpebu. Briefly, Mr. Kpebu, by this ruling then, how does when new governments take over, what processes then do they have to go through to be able to get rid of CEOs and director generals?
Good. So it means that henceforth, the president would have to abide by the terms and conditions of the certain CEOs. So meaning that if a CEO is appointed and given a 4-year tenure, it means that ordinarily the CEO must be allowed to serve out the 4 years. It can only be removed if his appointment letter states that he can be removed on maybe certain stated grounds. Because, one, the Supreme Court made it clear that those CEOs are public officers. I know in the Constitution you cannot remove a public officer without a stated cause, misconduct and all that. So if the CEO's appointment letter says that you can only remove him on a stated cause, that is if there is misbehavior and the rest, it means that is how we should go.
So what options are available to those who are affected by this ruling?
Sorry?
Are there any options available to those who are affected according to this ruling?
No. So what it is that you mean those that had already been...
Exactly. By what the NDC is saying that they should seek appropriate redress.
No, because generally when the Supreme Court gives its interpretation, the interpretation takes a prospective effect. That's from the day it is given.
Okay. We are grateful for your time there, for that education. Martin Kpebu is a constitutional lawyer. Now, plastic surgeon and 1996 St. Augustine's National Science and Maths Quiz contestant Levi Ankra says he's expecting a very stiff competition between his alma mater and Mfantsipim School later this week. He's also been recounting how in the grand finale of the 1996 NSMQ, Presec Legon overturned their defeat in the second round to beat them with 20 points.
It's an individual thing, and when you're sitting up on stage, so many things can change. In that final, we were leading. You sit back and you feel like everything is good, and then suddenly things start going bad, and you get desperate.
Oh wait, so you were leading, and then Presec came, overturned the defeat to beat you with 20 points.
I remember every single point. I was really desperate at that point.
What will a victory against Mfantsipim School mean to St. Augustine's College?
It will be quite exciting because there's always been that rivalry between St. Augustine's and Mfantsipim. So if we do make it, and I'm expecting that we will, it should be quite an exciting thing.
Meanwhile, Science and Maths Quiz Coordinator of Presec Legon team, Jidepo Afram, says the presence of the headmaster of the school and other top officials during yesterday's contest did not put any pressure on them, but rather motivated the team to win and qualify to the quarterfinals. And today,
not much of a pressure, but I see more like.
And later today, Opokuwari Senior High School will be contesting. We'll be, we'll meet Osechichi SHS and Anglican SHS Kumasi. Will bring you all the details from the NSMQ later on in our subsequent bulletins. And that's how we end this afternoon's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. All support for the Black Stars later tonight. Commentary live here on Joy on all our platforms. So do stay with us. I am Emefa Apau. Go Ghana, go Black Stars.